In 2022, I took 1,275 laps on 288 different roller coasters. Many I rode once, others I kept riding over and over again. So in this video, I will rank my top 10 most ridden roller coasters in 2022. This video will discuss my 2022 experiences in particular, rather than detailing the overall ride experience. If you want to know my more in-depth thoughts on any 10 of these coasters, I have individual reviews already posted. Number 10. Shambhala at PortAventura with 20 rides. This is one of the most re-rideable coasters in the world. Between the massive amount of floater airtime, incredible views, and glass smooth ride, it's not hard to love this coaster. I had 2.5 days at the Spanish theme park, and on one of the days we had express, so we spent the last 2 hours of the day lapping this coaster. My final ride ended with an evacuation off the brake run because it was too cool for the park to send the other train out empty. Number 9. Fury 325 at Carowinds with 21 rides. I attended the opening weekend for Carowinds. Pass holder preview night was cold and rainy, but I was more than willing to marathon Fury 325. With this ride's relentless speed, it was a tad painful, but I was not going to squander the opportunity when this B&M Giga was a walk-on. The ride barely ran the following day due to cooler temperatures and wind, but we still snuck in a few laps. Even with those lower temperatures, the ride still felt plenty fast and had some impressive airtime. Number 8. Phoenix at Knoebels with 22 rides. I made 2 visits to this Pennsylvanian theme park in 2022. My second visit was quite busy, so I only got a few laps. But my first visit was on May weekday when, quite frankly, I was surprised the park was even open. It was a ghost town, so I spent a large chunk of my day riding this PTC wood coaster. By the end of the day, my thighs hurt from being continuously launched a foot into the air onto the buzz bars on the finale, but I have zero regrets. Number 7. Ravine Flyer 2 at Waldameer with 24 rides. This is my go-to park in the Northeast on days with inclement weather. The forecast had a 100% chance of torrential downpours. This kept crowds away, so I was able to lap this coaster to my heart's content. Several of my rides took place in heavy rain. This number would have been higher, but the park closed an hour early due to severe thunderstorms that made their way across Lake Erie. Number 6. Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens Tampa with 25 rides. I made it down to the SeaWorld Park for pass holder previews. This coincided with Florida's spring break, so while every other coaster in the park was at least an hour wait, Iron Gwazi was a near walk-on, so it was a no-brainer where I'd spend a majority of my day. This is easily the best ride at this Florida theme park, and one of the best coasters in the entire world. It is an aggressive blur of ejector airtime and intensity. Number 5. Boulder Dash at Lake Compounce with 27 rides. This ride's wooded mountain setting makes it one of the world's best night rides, so I made sure to attend Phantom Fall Fest a few times to accrue as many rides in the dark as possible. This proved harder than anticipated due to the coaster having a lot of downtime towards the end of the year, but we finished the season on the ride's last 3 public trains. While it can be a bit rough in wheel seats, front row rides are still incredible between the smoother ride and abundance of airtime. Number 4. Wicked Cyclone at Six Flags New England with 36 rides. There were a few years when this was my favorite ride at Six Flags New England, but I now play second fiddle to another coaster at this park. That being said, I still get multiple laps on this coaster each visit. If I arrive at opening, I often start my day with a marathon on this coaster. This is because of the slower operations and not too many people going there at first. While it's not a top tier RMC, this coaster still has some awesome hang time filled inversions and plenty of airtime pops. Number 3. Lightning Rod at Dollywood with 40 rides. This is my favorite coaster, and I was in for a treat in my late March visit. The ride had zero downtime, which is a miracle in itself, and the crew was firing on all cylinders. They hit an hourly capacity that had not been done since the ride's inaugural season. How could I not keep getting in line? I think I spent my final 4 hours of the day getting right back in line. This is my dream ride between the unique setting, crazy speed, and insane airtime. Number 2. Jersey Devil Coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure with 44 rides. Because El Toro decided to take the second half of the season off, this RMC single rail coaster was the coaster I marathoned in 2 specific visits. Once during October power hours, and then during a super cold holiday in the park late in December. On the latter, they had to strictly front load the train due to temperatures, so I kept on re-riding until I got my coveted back row rides. That first drop is sublime back there. And coming in number 1 is Superman the Ride at Six Flags New England with 85 rides. This park had very low attendance in 2022. I have visited this park several times, and Superman was almost always a station wait. Add in an extremely efficient crew, and it was super easy to get double-digit laps in each visit, and I most certainly wanted to. This intimate hypercoaster is running like a dream. It is running much better than it did during the Bizarro years. The layout was always special, but the ejector airtime is back to its glory days. I am extremely fortunate to have this ride at one of my home parks. So those were my top 10 most ridden roller coasters in 2022. What was your most ridden coaster this past year? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this countdown, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.